Today we're talking about mandatory vaccinations in our country. I know that for the longest of time, maybe for the past couple of weeks, it has been something that mostly everyone is talking about. It's everywhere on the news, on our socials. It's a conversation that we need to have. All right. Um, Thank you for coming back to my channel. I go by the name of Nonkululeko Mbele, and we are about to get labor smart. Now, what happens in the case where your employer requires you to get vaccinated before you can come back to your job? And when I say your job, I'm not necessarily speaking about the duties, but being physically in the presence of the building, in the premises of the workplace. I know that there are a couple of big corporate companies that have announced that they are thinking of making it mandatory for its employees to get vaccinated before they can come back to work. And this should take effect from the beginning of the new year. In this case, where do you stand as an employee? All right. I know that I have made a video before. I think it was around about June when I made a video regarding vaccinations and employers making it mandatory for us to get vaccinated before we can go back to the workplace. And I did stipulate the fact that there is currently no case law that we can assess. There is nothing that we can work with because, like everyone knows, this pandemic is the first time we have to deal with such a thing. So now what happens in the regard that now we are being forced to get vaccinated in order for us to continue doing our duties on the premises of the workplace? Good people, I want you to understand that when your employer poses the fact that one needs to get vaccinated before they come back to the workplace, it will be solely based on a risk assessment that they have done. And for that reason, then you as an employee will have to you'll have to get your jab in order for you to go back into the premises. Now, when we talk about the risk assessment, it will obviously include the health and safety of the work environment, especially for those people who are of age and who have comorbidities. They're also at risk of having severe COVID-19 symptoms. I believe that they will be one of the people who fall under the category of people who need to get vaccinated. However, if it happens that you are of a young age and you're still in good shape, you still have good health, unfortunately, if it happens that you need to get vaccinated, it will be due to the reasons that maybe your scope of work includes a lot of interaction with other people, and maybe it happens that you are the face of the company, and as the face of the company, you are the first point that people come to. So in the case or in the event that you are not vaccinated, obviously then I don't need to state the fact that you are at a higher risk of contracting, or rather exposing other people to this disease. COVID-19 is real, people. I don't want to impose anything on anyone. I'm not saying that, hey, go get vaccinated. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, let's be open-minded and know that there is no reason why an employer or your employer will impose that onto you unless if there is a valid reason. And the only way you can find out whether there is a valid reason is for you to ask. Remember that at the end of the day, you as an individual, you do have your constitutional rights, and you have the right to question your employer in this regard. If you feel like there's no need for you to go back to the premises of the workplace, I urge you to ask or request your employer to continue working remotely, if that has proven to be quite efficient for you as well in terms of the scope of your work. Good people, mandatory vaccination is not as bad as people make it out to be. There is a valid reason, and if it happens there isn't, it is your right to say no. Remember that it is important for us to continue looking out. I always urge this, guys, the government gazette is it's something that is so important that we constantly need to check on, because our government will surprise us and then boom, now it's mandatory for absolutely no reason. So let's familiarize ourselves with the government gazette, and also let's know our rights as individuals, not forgetting our constitutional rights in every decision that we make. Till we meet again next time, goodbye.